Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are on day 7 of goal setting, 28 days of accountability, and today is day 7, and we are ready, right, to tackle our goals. We have our pens, we have our pads, our journals. We are ready to get going with day 7 of accountability. We are on our 28-day journey and we have made it through 6 days already. Today is Thursday. And boy, are we glad that the week, right, is almost over. And so I am so excited about the transformation and the changes and the level of accountability that we are seeing and experiencing on the live each and every day. Thank you so much to Reba for joining. Hey Dana, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you for coming on. We are on our journey of 28 days of accountability. Today is day 7, and we are focusing these 5 days of this week on setting SMART goals. We've already talked about making sure that they were specific. Yesterday we talked about making sure they're measurable, and today we're talking about making sure that they are achievable or attainable. So yes, if you have your pens and your pads ready, we are ready to talk about making sure our goals are achievable and attainable. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, today I did not come to play. I did not come to play today. I might snatch an edge or two, but that's okay. It's all in love. Snatching edges in love. Good morning to my twin. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning to Karen. Thank you so much, my sister. Hey, Rashonda. Hey, Sykes. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate everyone for joining. Hey, Pleasant. I really appreciate each and every person that meets me here every morning at 7:30. I know that it is, sometimes a struggle to make it at 7:30. Trust me, it's a struggle for me too. But we are here on this journey together to hold each other accountable. And so in order for us to do that, we have to make sure that we show up, right? And when we show up, that is the first step of showing up. Hey, Keisha, my sister, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. We are going to, like I said, I hope you have your pens and your pads, your journals, your notebook, whatever it is that you're using. I hope you have it. And again, put a little Vaseline on them edges today, because I think I'm probably going to take off 1 or 2, but that's okay. It's all in love. I love everybody, and I just want to see us all win. We all have the power within us already to win. So I just want to make sure that we are set up and we are on the trajectory to make sure that we are headed towards success. So let's talk about this thing, right? Today, we are talking about making sure that our goals are achievable, making sure they are attainable. That is the A in the SMART goal acronym, in the SMART goal method. The S, again, was for making sure that we set specific goals. The M we talked about yesterday. So if you missed those 2 days, make sure you go back and watch. We talked about making sure that those are measurable. And today we are talking about making sure they are attainable. I ask that you come in, that you like the video, you show me some love, and then you share so that way other people are informed as well. For those of you all who don't know me, my name is Ebony Moncho. I am a motivational speaker and accountability coach and the CEO of 360 HR Solutions. I teach entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers all over the world how to build success. And I do that by helping them to create structure, to develop processes, and to implement solutions that are sustainable. So let's go ahead and get started. When we talk about goals being attainable and achievable, we want to make sure that when we write our goals down, we remember and understand that writing them down allows us to have our dreams packed with power, right? And it puts them on a course toward success. So writing down those goals, remember, it packs them with power and then it puts them on a journey towards success. Because whatever we speak, whatever we write, is going to manifest. When we write things down, it manifests, right? So we have to remember writing down our goals. It packs them with power and it puts them on a course towards success. And it's important to make sure that our goals are measurable so that way we can track our progress, and it also helps us to stay motivated, right? And when we assess our progress, that helps us to make sure that we stay focused so that way we can meet whatever the deadlines that we have, and then we can feel that level of excitement and that exhilaration and that pump, right? We get pumped. We get, as the kids say, we get crump. We get litty, right? When we feel that level of excitement, when that we feel, the more we accomplish and achieve the goals. That's why it's important to make sure that even though we may have this large goal that may take us 12 months to accomplish, or it may take us 5 years to accomplish, we break it down in small measurable chunks. That is important. So that way, every 30 days, every 60 days, we can measure our progress. We can see that we're moving closer to the goal. And that's what keeps us going. That's what keeps us motivated, right? And we want to make sure we talked about that we're using action words, action verbs that can be observed, and those things that can be measured, right? So the first thing that we're going to talk about in order to determine whether or not if our goal is achievable or if it's going to be attainable, the first thing we want to do is for us to talk about making sure that we understand that goal setting is going to be different for everyone, right? What your goal is not going to be the same thing that what my goal is. And so we always want to provide focus and direction for ourselves, no matter what it is that we are trying to accomplish. So when you look at goals being attainable or achievable, first we need to weigh out the amount of effort that it's going to take us to accomplish that goal. How much time is it going to take us? And then we also want to look at any other costs that our goal is going to take us, right? And we then weigh that on the other side. So we talk about the pros and the cons, right? On the other side of that thought process is we want to look at what the profits is going to be, right? So we looking at how much effort, how much time, and how much cost versus what the profit is going to be, and any other obligations or priorities that we have in our life that may prohibit us from being able to achieve or attain the goal that we have set. So we have to look at all angles. We want to make sure that we build out this box, right? And we want to hit every corner. So effort, time, cost against profit and other obligations and priorities that we have in our lives. And even in the Bible, it talks about making sure that we have a plan for our goal and we weigh out the cost, right? We think that something is new under the sun. No, it's not. In Luke 14:28, if you don't believe me, go look it up. Luke 14:28, it says, "For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?" Right? So even in the Bible, it talks about us looking at what it's going to cost us, looking at the time, the effort, all of those things in order to determine if our goal is achievable. So when we think about that A in the SMART acronym, that is our reality check, right? That A is the reality check. It allows us to think about whether or not if a goal is beyond our grasp, whether or not if it's beyond our reach. And sometimes our goals we may have set a goal for ourselves that is outside of our grasp right now in this season of our lives. So then we need to ask ourselves two questions. What needs to happen in order, or what needs to change in order for this goal to be achievable or attainable. So first, what needs to happen? And then what do I need to change in order for my goal to be achievable? So for example, right, you may want to open up a neighborhood bar, let's just say, in your area. You may want to create a Cheers type atmosphere. Do anybody remember Cheers, that TV show that used to come on? I want to go where everybody knows my name, right? That Cheers type of environment. And you may have an idea in your mind that this is what you want to do. You want to open up a neighborhood bar. Now, you've never opened a bar before. You've never opened a restaurant before. You've never even sold penny candies outside in the front of your grandmother's house, right? Remember back in the day when you used to see the kids with the lemonade stands or either the penny candy stand? Now you have created this goal of opening this bar, but you've never even ran a penny candy establishment before. So you have no idea of where to even start to opening this bar. So I want to drop a pin there and let everybody know that there is a difference between a stretch goal and one that comes straight out of the atmosphere, right? So sometimes, goals should be stretch goals. They should stretch us. They should make us uncomfortable, right? They should cause us to come outside of our comfort zone, because sometimes we get too comfortable, we get too complacent. So we have to allow our goals to stretch us outside of our comfort zone. Those are stretch goals. And then sometimes we create goals that are completely out of the atmosphere, like me wanting to open up a neighborhood bar when I've never ran an establishment. So maybe I need to drill down on that goal first. So that may be a goal of mine, but there are a lot of things I need to do first in order to accomplish that. So I can't just wake up today and say, I want to open this bar by, 30 days from now. No, that's not attainable. That's not achievable, right? So we need to make sure that then we think about what are the steps that's necessary in order for me to achieve it. Not saying we can't achieve it, but we need to set ourselves up for success, right? So we have to think about, is my goal something that I can achieve given the time that I have to give? Because sometimes we are already stretched beyond limits. We are going to school, right? We are full-time or part-time entrepreneurs. We have a full-time W-2 job, as I like to call it, and then we have a full-time 1099 job. We going to school full time. We are mothers. We are wives. We are active in our churches, in our community. So we already have a small, limited amount of time. So we have to be realistic with ourselves when we set these goals, right? And that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, realistic goals. But think about the time that you have, and then think about the resources, right? If I want to open up this bar and I don't have $1, and then if I don't even have good credit, I need to be looking for Coach Yana B. Right? I need to be looking for Yana Banks because she helps individuals establish credit. So that's important that we think about the resources that we have. And then we think about the level of expertise. So when we're thinking about if goals are attainable, we want to make sure that we can achieve them. We need to think about if we have the time, if we have the resources, and if we have the expertise. And it's okay if you don't have the expertise yourself. See, that is, I'm going to drop a pin there right there too, right? That is one problem that I've seen in us, right? Meaning us. We have an issue with not being okay with the areas that we don't know. A successful CEO, the reason why they are successful is because they have looked inside of them. They recognize their areas of strength, right? And then they do the opposite side of the work. They recognize their areas of improvement, right? And then they go out and they find the people who have what they lack. They find the individuals who can fill the gaps, who can fill the holes, and then now they have a successful, fully functioning, operating company because they have their strengths. They are the strategic visionaries. Sometimes that's all they are. They can have the vision. They're the pastors of the organization. They put forth the vision, but then they align themselves, surround themselves with people who can then take the vision and run with it. That's what the Bible says, right? Write the vision, make it plain, so that way men can run with it. So we surround ourselves with the individuals who can run with it. Now that I've taught you about how to set attainable goals, right? Now that we've talked about setting attainable and reachable goals, now it's time for you to take hold to your coattails because it's about to get real around here. Now we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why it's difficult for us to set achievable goals, right? 5 reasons why it's difficult for us to set achievable goals. The first one is, y'all ready? Y'all ready? The first one is that our eyes are too big. Sometimes our eyes are too big. It's okay for us to have big dreams, y'all. It is okay to have big dreams, but we need to break those dreams down into bite-sized components. Have you ever ordered a Big Mac? And then have you been able to eat the whole Big Mac at one time? Can you just open up your mouth and stuff a Big Mac in all at one time? No, you can't eat a Big Mac all at one time. You have to take it bite by bite by bite by bite. And that's what we have to do with our goals. Sometimes we try to stuff the whole goal in and complete the whole thing in 30 days. No, that's impossible. So then what happens? Then we get discouraged, we get defeated, and we feel like, oh, I can't do it. Nothing is going right for me. No, you didn't set yourself up for success in the beginning, right? So my job here these 28 days is to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success, right? The other thing is according to our eyes being too big, is sometimes we try to change too many aspects of our behavior at the same time. We can't try to change everything about ourselves all at one time because we get discouraged, right? You can't try to lose weight, go on a fast, start school, and be committed to going to Bible class and Sunday school all at the same time. It's impossible. We're not going to be able to be committed to all of those things starting Sunday, right? So we need to really think about what it is that we want to do so that way we can break those things down into bite-sized achievements, right? So that way we are setting ourselves up for success. Now, if your goal is, you're saying to yourself, I plan to make $500,000 by December 31st, 2019 in my business. Now we want to think about, is that attainable, or is that my eyes being too big, right? Do I know anyone that has accomplished this goal? Have I made even $10,000 yet in my business? So is that attainable for me to say that I'm going to make $500,000 by December 31st? Yes, we have faith. Yes, God can do anything but fail, right? Yes, we believe, in mountain moving faith, all of those things. Yes, we do. But again, is that attainable? What research have you completed in determining whether or not if you can make $500,000 by December 31st, 2019? Have you talked to anyone that made that amount of money in 1 year? And if you have, did you ask them what did it take them to achieve the goal in 1 year? What resources did they have? So we want to make sure that if we have those type of goals, we are surrounding ourselves with people who have already achieved where we're trying to go, right? That's important. We have to surround ourselves with the people that have already achieved the level of success that we're trying to make. The next thing, the number 2 in the 5 reasons why it's difficult to achieve and why it's difficult to set achievable goals. Number 2 is we are unclear and we are unsure about the end result. Oh, y'all. Sometimes we are unclear. We don't even know what it is that we want, right? All we know is we want success. What is success? What does that look like? What is it that you want to see at the end? Just saying I want to lose weight, that's unclear. Do I want to lose 20 pounds by May 31st, 2019? That is a clear goal. So we need to get concrete about what it is that we aim to master. We have to become clear about what it is that we're trying to do. And we have to be specific, because when we are specific, it helps us to identify what the right next steps, not just the next steps, right? Because that key word there is the right next steps. It helps us to identify the right next steps that we need to take. So we have to be clear, about what it is that we want our end result to be. So get concrete about that thing. Number 3, in determining why it's difficult for us to achieve our goals, is that we don't see defeat or malfunction as a path to success. Now that one is tight, y'all. It snatched my edges out when I, during my study time, and I was talking with God and asking him to give me what I'm supposed to say today. And when that thing came to me, I was like, ooh, ouch. We don't see malfunction or defeat as part of the process, right? And that is part of the path to success, right? We have to consider viewing success as a billion little pieces of defeat. I'm going to say it again. Consider viewing success as a billion little pieces of defeat. So think about this. When a system malfunctions, right? What happens when it malfunctions? It breaks down. Do you think the factories that then manufacture cars or chocolate or popcorn, my favorite, do you think that they then say, well, no, the system malfunctioned, so now we're not going to make any more chocolate today? No, what they do is they go and they look at why the system malfunctioned, right? They look at the structure, they look at the processes, and then they go back and refine their strategy so that way they can achieve their goal. They look at the structure, they look at the processes, and then they refine their strategy. I'm going to call, I feel preachy, like my daddy used to say when he was preaching on Sunday morning. I'm going to call in me a few witnesses, y'all. And I know I'm going over my 15 minutes today because I still got 2 more points. But if you can hang in here with me, I promise you it's going to get good, right? So I'm going to call in 2 more witnesses today. Now, Colonel Sanders, everybody know who Colonel Sanders is, right? That's the Kentucky Fried Chicken man. He created Kentucky Fried Chicken when he was 56 years old, right? When he was 56 years old. His recipe was rejected over 1,000 times before a restaurant picked it up. Can you imagine? 1,000 times. But that means that he never quit. He never gave up. I'm sure he had a lot of people along his journey telling him, at the 500th time, you might as well give up on trying to make a recipe of crispy fried chicken that people are going to like, because clearly this is not a good thing. But he kept going. He kept trying. He viewed his goal as something that was achievable, even though people around him didn't think it was, right? And being committed to trying to develop a product 1,000 times, is that not looking at malfunction or failure or defeat as part of the path to success? Come on now, somebody. Think about Thomas Edison, right? Thomas Edison, when he was a little boy, he was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. And his teachers even suggested to him that he go work out in the field because that was a job that did not require any level of intelligence at all. Now, if he had allowed that to soak into his brain, we wouldn't have light bulbs right now. We wouldn't have any light bulbs. He tried, get this, more than 10,000 times to invent the light bulb before he created a successful product. He tried over 10,000 times because he refused to allow the words of that teacher to deter him. And I say all the time, you know what? It's those naysayers. It's those people that said I couldn't when I knew that I could. It's those individuals those are the shoulders that I stood on to get me to success, right? Those are the shoulders that I stood on. Sometimes we have to stand on the shoulders of the people that have told us that we won't be nobody, that we won't be nothing, that we can't accomplish anything in life. We got to stand on those shoulders in order for us to be successful. So again, look at defeat, look at malfunction, look at failure as a path on your way to success. Don't sit down. Don't stop there. Keep going. Thomas Edison, think about him. Think about Colonel Sanders, right? And all the times and effort and energy that they put into making sure that they had an end result, that their goals were met, right? All right, I'm going to get off that one because I can go on that one forever. Number 4 is we don't plan for the glitches, right? So even with the best of intentions, life sometimes get in the way. We can start out with the best plan, with the best thought, with the best goal in mind. We can have our end result. We can have everything that we need, but then life gets in the way. And so if we know that there are certain obstacles that are going to sidetrack us from our goals, I want you to start out by creating a game plan so you can sidestep the landmines, right? This not Bird Box. You don't have to be blindfolded throughout your journey. We can see. So we know that the landmines are out there. So let's create a plan. Let's put together our course of action so that way we can sidestep the landmines that are out there. And then there's a reason why our goals are called a goal and not an outcome, right? Goals are called goals and not outcomes. And that's because no matter how well we plan in advance, making changes along the way is inevitable. We cannot get around having to make changes along the way. So what I want you to do is plan to be flexible. Plan to be flexible. Put that in your plan already. I'm going to be flexible. Type that right now. I'm going to be flexible. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be flexible because when those landmines come, right, we have to be prepared to be able to sideswipe them and to sidestep them. And in order for us to sidestep them, that means we have to be flexible. We have to get into our matrix zone, right? We got to allow our bodies to be able to do the matrix in order for us to be flexible. And that's how we can sidestep all of the landmines, right? That's how we can sidestep those. We have to be flexible. And the last one, of course, this is number 5. And then I'm going to get out of here because I have kept you all long past your 15 minutes. And this one, I want you to hold on to your seats, y'all. It's about to get real around here. We are allergic to accountability and responsibility. Boom. Drops mic. We are allergic to accountability and to responsibility. We are allergic to it. So it's not just about self-control. It's not only about self-control. It's about putting the strategies and putting the plans in place that we need to meet our goals. We have to put the strategies and the plans in place. We have to block out time each week. Block it out so that way you can focus on taking the steps necessary to move you towards your goal and to move your goal forward. You have to move your goal forward. I don't care how many accountability coaches you have, how many best friends you have, how many people that's rooting for you. The action is on you. You have to move your goal forward. So you have to set out time in your schedule, plan it out, make your calendar your best friend. Set time on your calendar where you're going to focus on your goal. You're going to focus on what you're going to do in order to be successful. Put the strategies in place, put the plans in place, and I promise you, you will see a difference, right? Get yourself a best friend, get an accountability partner, so that way they can check in with you on Sundays. Girl, you got that calendar together? Send me a screenshot because I need to make sure that I see that you've blocked out time on that schedule so you can work on you, so you can focus on your goals. That's right. We are all accountable to each other. And our plan is to make sure that 2019 is a year. I prayed and asked God for 2 words for 2019, and I don't believe that he made these words just for Ebony. And before I take it back, I'll add to it. The 2 words was restoration and abundant favor. So I say that for everyone. This 2019 is the year of restoration and abundant favor. I thank you all so much for joining each and every morning with me on our 28-day journey of accountability. Thank you for joining today. I hope something was said today that is going to motivate you to make sure that your goal is attainable. If so, I ask that you like, that you love, and that you share the video, because I want to make sure that everyone has the power to win. Again, my name is Ebony Moncho. I am a motivational speaker, an accountability coach, and the CEO of 360 HR Solutions. I teach entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers all over the world how to build success. And I do that by helping them to create structure, to develop processes, and to implement solutions that are sustainable. Make sure you come back tomorrow. We will be talking about how to make sure our goals are realistic, right? So make sure you're ready. Bring your pens and your pads, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you all again for joining.